Hello everyone, my name is Wow. I'll be doing a reading for Leo for April. Today is the 14th. I do an intuitive reading. I can use the tarot, but I'm not going to be using that for the reading right now. I'll be using the Chakra Insight Oracle. It's an oracle by Karen Sangster with artwork by Amy Edwards. A really awesome deck if you're looking to get one or add to the collection. And the kind of spread that I'll be running is my own personal spread. I call it the Alchemist Pyramid. If you want more information on that, just message me or leave a comment in the box or something like that. But I'm glad to have you guys here. I think the Leos have been doing pretty good over the last couple of months. Hasn't been a complete travesty like with our Cancers and Geminis and Tauruses out there. But I feel like everybody can use a little bit of a helpful word here and there. So even if you're doing fine right now, hopefully you can find something that'll help you out. None of this is date specific, so you can go back to any of my videos and maybe find something that is helpful for you. And yeah, not everything is going to resonate or hit a note with everybody. If it applies, if it speaks to you, then take it with you. If not, then leave it behind. But hopefully you can gain more than you or don't walk more than you came with. Let's say that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Leo. And I do just general information. This isn't concerning love. It can, I can give you, helpful information to help you with that kind of thing, but I don't pigeonhole my readings into any one subject or any one aspect of your life. I try to give you, a couple of, a full course meal pretty much to assist you with anything that may be bothering you. So hopefully we can, make something nice. So let's get into it. Alright, let's see what we have for Leo for April. Okay, so your first card is the throat chakra. This chakra is kind of tricky. The throat chakra is, anybody can master it. You don't have to master any of the other chakras, really. You can master the throat chakra and yeah, you're there at mastering the throat chakra. But what that does is leave you pretty reckless with your mouth. You might sound good when you say it, but the damage you're doing or what you're speaking out into the universe is probably doing more damage than it should. But mastering the throat chakra it should be, you can master it on its own, but you should be trying to master all of your chakras in tandem, not just any one. But all of them should fall into line by just the natural things that you're doing or things that you're enjoying in life or things that you're building towards or working towards. Those will automatically align you and center you so that you just ascend, pretty much. But watch your words. Watch what you speak into the world, especially Leos, because Leos are very brash and bullheaded, even though they're not Tauruses. But Leos can definitely say some things in a very strong way and have it not be necessary to be said that way. So just be careful, okay? And this is what's going to assist you with mastering that throat chakra is communication. And not just any kind of communication, but positive communication. Communication that vibes high. Communication that builds you. Communication that supports you. Not just communication that's just out there to just to be there. How's the weather kind of communication. No, it's how you doing, like how you really doing kind of communication. Start trying to master that within yourself and start trying to have that received from others. If the conversation is not challenging, this up here, then it's probably a waste of air. And if it's not speaking to you at all, then change the subject or move it along or try to inject some intelligence into what you're listening to. But mastery of the throat chakra communication requires listening as well. So as much as you can talk, Leo, see how much you can listen as well. It'll help a little bit. All right? And this is also going to assist you. Sound. You guys are really focused on the throat chakra right now. You're not communicating too good, or having a tough go of working with people, or just finding a harmony in your universe. You can use sound to assist with that. Some of the YouTube readers that I view myself, thank you guys, they have clarity bells, or one of those bowls, I forget what they're called. The name is going to bother me, but those kind of things, they do something to our the cells in our body, and I think they assist with that harmonization with the rest of the world around you. So just be mindful of the oral stimulation around you, because that can bring you to a low vibe just as well as it can bring you to a high vibe. I think a lot of people know this from listening to things before they have certain things coming up, like a fight or a game or something like that, and they're just trying to get pumped up. Or if you're pumped up and you want to come down, you put on something mellow. You can use that sound. Also for me, I have people that I can talk to, and immediately as soon as I hear their voice, even if they're like, I'm like, yeah, keep it coming. That's making me feel better. So use sound to your advantage. It's there for a reason. Even when you're being silent, you're still making noise. So take advantage of that vibration, or of that constant vibration, and try to stimulate it in more positive ways with things in your tools in your environment, pretty much. Music, even some people go to sleep with the TV on. They like loud noises. Whatever floats your boat or sinks it, do it. All right. But sound is key important. It's one of the most important things, I think, in the universe, because if something can't make a sound, then it can't really communicate all that well. And if something makes a sound, it doesn't make a sound, nobody knows it's there. All right. Right. For intuition for you guys, I know I had a struggle with listening to my intuition. Like I wasn't sure if that little voice was just bullshit, or excuse my language, or if it was actually a helpful part of myself trying to speak knowledge to the rest of me. You know what I mean? But your emotions, balancing those is what's going to assist you with mastering the throat chakra. As I said, I can kind of speak from the same community. Leos and Tauruses have a lot of similar traits, and I know one thing that was bad with me was my anger, my rage problems. I'd rage out, then think about what I said, and decided it was okay because I'm a Gemini or I'm a Taurus, and that's what's expected of me. But no, it's not okay. Just because it's expected of you, doesn't mean that it's okay if you do it. All right. But balancing those emotions, finding the right time to be angry, or the right amount of anger to have, or even with our other emotive expressions, with sadness, with happiness, finding just the right amount of each in each situation to have that perfect balance of not overdoing it or being too much. All right. But balance your emotions. Start thinking about things. If you've heard something from multiple people, they complain about you all the time. Like me with my anger, multiple people would talk to me about that. So of course I had to say, well, maybe they're right, and start trying to do something about that. So I started meditating and blah blah blah, Tai Chi, whatever. But finding outlets can assist with balancing those emotional surges. Finding something to dump that surge into, even if it's something that doesn't respond to you, like a book or a video game or a movie or something like that. So finding some way to exert that excessive energy is what you want to do. And it's not all negative, it's balancing emotions. Some people can be too freaking happy, like, yo, I know you have some other emotions. I know you do. It's impossible for you to be this happy, but it's about finding that balance and the right time and the right place for the right amount of emotion. and I'm still struggling with it. Like, I still under emote, still do to this day. But I find that you know, I get really I can tap in to my emotions better when I'm trying to. You have to try. All right. Our next card, creativity. And that's exactly what I was just speaking on. Finding an outlet, finding something that you enjoy doing, that speaks to you, that makes you put something positive out there into the world. Or put something for somebody else to enjoy, you know. I mean, a lot of people do art for themselves. Excuse me, I have to plug in my phone. There we go. But, you know, a lot of people, they find that serenity, that peace when they're sitting there writing that poem or drawing that picture or playing that musical instrument. That can bring you back down to the ground, that can center you, that can balance you. Creativity is one of the most amazing tools that we have, and it doesn't matter what you're creating. I used to tell a friend of mine, just draw a circle on a piece of paper, and you've created something. You know, just make a stick figure. You know, do something. Ball a piece of paper up and set a hat on it. You know, do something that is changes something from what it was before into something new, and that's creation right there. As simple as making a fold in a piece of paper. That's creation. So get creative. Find your outlet. If you don't feel you're good at something, try it anyway, because you might surprise yourself. All right. And this is what you want to start thinking about. Things that make you feel like whatever kind of creature is sitting in that hammock. I think that's an otter, but I'm not sure. And if I'm wrong, so what? Looks like an otter. But home is any person, place, or thing that makes you feel welcome, that makes you feel like you don't have to try to be there. Home is any person, place, or thing that makes you feel like it's okay to be you. You know, no matter what that may or may not mean. But start actively, you know, identifying these places and saying, you know, I enjoy coming here. And it may be a place that you have really no reason to be, like the library. Like, nobody wants to be there every day, but if it's a place that it brings a serenity to you, a peace to you, a calm, then why not? Just go there and just walk around for a little bit. People watch, you know. That's what I like to do sometimes, is just get out there and go stare, observe, analyze what people and how they go about their daily lives and how they react to certain situations. I like to do that. But yeah, finding home and finding something that, or someone or some place that just you feel like you can kick your shoes off, go open the fridge and eat whatever is in there, and they'll be happy you did it because they're glad to see you, you know, enjoying your life and enjoying their company or their place. But yeah, start identifying things that make you feel like home. All right. This is something that will also assist you. Mastering that throat chakra is presence. A lot of times in my past, I would respond to what could happen sometimes before I would respond to what was happening. And that's not being in the present now. That's you know, reacting to something that maybe not has happened yet. But being present is it's okay to think about the future, but it's not okay to drive yourself crazy trying to figure out what everything may mean. Okay? Presence is when somebody's speaking to you, you're actively listening. You know, and responding and trying to assist them or to conversate with them. That's presence. Just being in the here and now. You don't have to forget about the past or the future, but your now is the thing that's affecting you the most. So make sure you're nurturing that. Okay? Make sure you're paying attention to what status that is at. Okay? but have presence. Don't be absent-minded I was guilty of such things constantly back in the day. Being absent-minded, scatterbrained, just, you know, it was hard for me to focus sometimes, or to find, or to be present, because my mind was racing so fast, you know, that it was one thought after the other, that I didn't have time to consider a single thing. Just had enough time to sweep it under a rug or put it in a closet somewhere. So be present in your current reality and consider your past and future when is convenient in your life. But don't constantly be sitting there trying to figure out what's going to happen tomorrow when you need to figure out what you're going to do right now. Okay? And this is also going to bring out that throat chakra. So wonderful. That's such an awesome card. Like, she's got that Jumpman going on, and it's just the field of dreams for her. And that's how it feels when you're a child. Like, the world is this big fun place, this wonderful puzzle for you to put together. And then you get older and you're like, there's no magic. There's nothing in this world that is wonderful. A lot of people get to that place, that space really quickly. Like, it doesn't happen in old age nowadays. It happens when you're like 20. You're like, the world is such a wasteland. And you might be right, but you might be wrong too. And a key component of figuring that out is connecting with your inner child again, being playful, being lighthearted, finding that wonder in yourself. I know with the internet, there's not many mysteries out there anymore, but there still are mysteries. There's still a ton out there. But find something that speaks to you, that makes you feel like running around in a circle for no reason at all. You ever seen a kid just do something with their body and you're like, how did you do that? Two, why? But then you answer your question as soon as you ask them, because they're a kid, because they're a child. And we think that when we get older, like, we should just, I'm too adult. Screw that. Have fun. Be playful. You know, all work and no play makes you a dull person. All right. And this is something else to consider. Your passion. Look at that picture. They're glowing from the inside out. When you have passion, you glow from the inside out. I once heard somebody tell me that you don't need shine to. You need a light source to shine, but you don't need a light source to glow. And when you have passion, you're glowing. You feel fulfilled because something in your life is giving back. And that's what a lot of people need to latch on to. You know, I understand, you know, people have their, you know, things that they feel they need to do, but a lot of people lose sight of things that they should do as well. You know, the needs, you know, can't outweigh the wants at any given time, but there has to be time made for yourself to build yourself. And passions are the key to doing that. You know, as we talked about earlier with creativity or balancing your emotions, when you find passion or something to be passionate about, that gives you that you know, the viva la vie, you know, that drive to keep going, to wake up in the morning and have a reason to smile when you look in the mirror, or open the door and see that sunshine beaming. Find that passion. Find those things that speak to your soul directly and loud and clearly. And latch on to them. Even if you're not very good at it, do it anyway. You know, nobody comes out the womb being a professional at anything. Nobody. So if you're not good at something, continue to be bad at it. And be proud of that. because, you know, it's like I've said, you know, to friends in the past, failure will teach you how to try. So don't be afraid to fall on your face, because that's still forward progress. You're still moving forward. So this will also assist you on staying on your soul path or spiritual path or whatever. Love, Love, one of my favorite things right now. One thing about dogs is that whether you're gone for 5 minutes or 5 days, they're still just as excited to see you. They still love you just as much if they only get to see you twice in their whole life. Find that in yourself. I know the world is full of triple A-holes, and it's tough to find that benevolence in you sometimes, or it's hard to want to be kind when the world is filled with such animosity and lasciviousness. But when you love unconditionally, you're not concerned with that. You give without expectation of receiving it back. That's true love. You love without worrying about what you don't like about a certain thing or anything around it. You just love. It's a simple thing. It's one of the most available resources on the planet, but also one of the most scarcely given. And that needs to change. In order to vibe higher, to increase your vibrations, and reach enlightenment, love is your main ingredient. That's your power plant. That's your battery in your back. Okay? So love, and love hard. And this is also going to assist you on the soul path. Self-esteem. Look at her. She's radiating in a field of sunflowers all by herself, dancing like everyone is watching and everyone is enjoying it. That's self-esteem. When you say to yourself, hey, maybe I do look stupid, but you know what? I'm having a good time. So, scoot, kick rocks at your mama's face with sandals on. I'm having a good time. I'm confident in myself enough to say, I don't care what you think. I still love what I'm doing because it's not hurting you, and I'm having a good time. Have self-esteem. Love yourself. Wake up in the morning, and as soon as you see yourself in the mirror, brushing your teeth, say, hey, I love you. I love you. Looking good. Do this. Even if you don't believe it, even if you believe to your heart's core that every single word out of your mouth is a lie when you say it, still do it, because eventually you'll start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, it'll start to flood over into your reality. So speak love, compassion, and kindness to yourself and to others, and you'll start to see it come back to you. A lot of times, tenfold. Okay? Self-esteem is a major component. Like, as much as enlightenment comes with loving others, enlightenment doesn't come, and loving others doesn't come unless you love yourself first. Don't be narcissistic, but say, hey, I appreciate what I am. All right? And wow. Once you master that throat chakra, this is your end game. Connection. And that can be connection to whatever you want it to be. Your higher power, connection to the community around you, connection to the things in your life that bring you love or pleasure or whatever. Realize that you're part of a grand tapestry. A painting is not just the one stroke. It's the entire painting. But the painting is not the painting without that one stroke. Okay? Realize that you're part of a grand scheme, that your actions do matter, that the things that you speak into this universe do have measurable consequences out there somewhere in this world or maybe another. But realize that we're all connected. We're all interconnected in whatever this weirdness is that's called life. And if you're not honoring that connection or nurturing it or supporting it, then you're causing discord and you're not harmonic. And you know what happens when somebody's out of harmony. You get kicked out the band. But let's be mindful of that, my dear Leos. Be mindful of your connectedness to everyone around you. The things you say and do have results, equal and opposite reactions out there somewhere. So nurture that connection. You know, if you have a garden and you don't water it, it's not going to be that much of a garden. It's going to be a desert patch, a sand trap. Okay? Start establishing things that make you feel this connectedness and consistently putting yourself around those things to stimulate that feeling. All right? I'll give you guys one more card. I call it my and one more thing. And one more thing. Third eye. Third eye. Use your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, probably not. It's probably not the right thing or the right, thing for you in that given time. You know, if someone sounds like they're being untruthful, maybe they are, and react in kind. But trust your awareness. I mean, our eyes are serviceable, but human beings have some of the worst eyesight on the planet. And even if you do see something clearly, people can be standing right next to each other, see the same thing, and have two completely different tales of what happened. So try to use your third eye. The third eye doesn't make mistakes. The third eye sees what has happened before it even happens. It's already the past for your third eye. So that's why it can warn you. That's why it can give you that heads up. Back off, don't do it. And that's the universe, God, creator, whatever you want to call that energy out there that made all of us possible. That's its way to connect with us and to help us and to guide us. So nurture that as well. That's part of your garden. That's part of your temple. You don't want dirty rooms in a sanctified home. One of my mentors wrote a book and said. So make sure you're keeping your temple nice and cleansed and being aware of what's in there. If it's cluttered, start clearing it out, because that's blocking your intuition. But I don't want to bring this on too long. I thank you guys for joining with me. I hope you were able to pull something from this video. If not, I'm glad we got to spend some time together. So, peace, love, and happiness. You don't have to be a great person, but please be a good person. Namaste. Love you guys. Turtle Gang.